What's up, everybody? Welcome to a very special Gamescom edition of GameScoop. I'm your host, Daemon Hatfield. I'm joined here in Cologne, Germany by Sam Claiborn.
We're actually here. It's
Rachel
so exciting.
Weber.
Hi.
And Justin Davis.
Scoop.
And what a show we have for you this week. Great show. We're here on the show floor and at the Cologne Messe right here in Cologne. Yeah, wave to the people.
Hey,
Blow
they're
them
waving.
kisses.
Yeah.
Aw.
And what do we have here? We're right in front of THQ Nordic, which has got Epic Mickey Rebrush and Reanimal and a couple other titles back there. Sega is right over here behind us. Right next to us is Crafton and the Sims killer. What is called
Inzoi?
Inzoi, something like that. It's like
Sonic the Hedgehog's right there. He's really big.
Get out of
with
here,
a bunch of
Sonic.
rings.
You know how we feel. Sonic is not welcome on my show.
I never said that, and Rachel never said that.
No, I said that, and Justin said that. And then the whole back is all Xbox, but the gigantic Xbox booth back there.
Yeah. It's a big booth.
It is
It's
a
a big
gigantic booth.
convention.
It's a really big convention.
It's got bigger. Last time I was here was 10 years ago, and
Oh
this
my God.
is
Well, yeah.
huge.
This is just one hall of 10.
Yeah.
There are 10
And
halls.
so there was always 2 halls at E3, and this is 5 times as big as E3.
Well, but sometimes there was the cursed Kensha Hall, which was
That's
always
right.
my favorite place.
The parking
to go.
garage.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this seems like it's about 10 times as big as E3. I don't think people. We could talk about it later, but
We
I
can
don't
talk
think
about it
people. Okay, well, I don't think people understand what the scale of this is if they haven't been here. This is my first Gamescom, and it's truly cool to be back at a convention where there's a bunch of big things built.
Yep.
There's
Yeah.
games to play, and there's people everywhere. I don't know. I haven't been to an E3-like thing since pre-COVID, and it's
Yeah.
just remarkable.
I completely agree. I walked by a castle earlier.
Yeah.
Not like a trip, but like a constructed one inside.
And
There
there's
are
real
actually
castles outside.
there are
too.
actual castles outside. No, I loved E3, and E3, flipping through game magazines and reading their E3 issues is why I got into the video game
That's
industry.
right, the E3 issues.
It was
of course.
formative for me,
Yeah.
and I was very sad when it was gone. And Gamescom, Sam, this is my first Gamescom as
Yep.
well, and I didn't quite know what to expect. It's more public-facing, a little bit less industry than E3 was, and I think the vibe here is very positive. It's very great. Great energy. I'll tell you one thing I love is I love seeing all the families around.
a lot of
No,
families.
there's
It's got
so many
kind of a
kids in
festival
cosplay.
feeling to it. It's great.
Is it your first too?
No, but it was 10 years ago, my last one. So it
Whoa.
was much more kind of very European-centric.
Oh,
than-
What was like the big game? Like,
I'm
what
trying
was
to-
the,
so if it was 2014, it would have been Dragon Age Inquisition.
is that
Yeah.
is that right?
But I don't think they had a
He should
huge
play a
presence.
video game 20
yeah.
questions.
I have done that. a
Just
couple of
drawing that out of his mind like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, but Dragon Age was, I guess, somewhat
They
European.
still, the things like E3 was still going on, so they would spend all their money there. So Gamescom was kind of a smaller budget thing.
Okay, did you guys see the freaking tractor?
At
The farming simulator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Farming Simulator, they have like some kind of award-winning machine, and it's on a triangle-shaped tire tread like a tank, and it looks like it could roll over any building ever built. It is the craziest thing I've ever seen, and they don't even have guards around it. You can just crawl up the ladder and get inside if
They've
you
just
want.
shipped
Drive it
in
off.
Yeah,
farming
drive it
equipment.
off.
Do you think they tugged it in here somehow on like a bunch of reins like King Kong, or do you think they actually drove it?
Or helicoptered it down.
Yeah.
The most difficult way.
There's
But
also
no.
just a California Highway Patrol car here.
Yeah,
For some
yeah.
reason.
I felt like at home. It was just exactly the cops that pulled me over in my backyard, just right here, a CHP patrol car.
Some people just have budget to spend. There's an Overwatch Porsche. I don't know what the connection is there.
And wasn't it like a transformer or something?
Yeah.
It's somehow a robot and a Porsche. But that's the thing. The builds look like Disneyland type stuff,
Yeah.
right? There's a big temple for Indiana Jones. There's probably something cool in the Assassin's
They
Creed
made a whole
booth.
cantina
They won't let me
for
in there.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Is that what's there?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Kingdom
great.
Come Deliverance 2 has got like a whole Ren fair.
That one's
There's
amazing.
people
That's the
like
castle.
sword fighting castles.
And,
yeah.
and World of Warcraft has a castle too with rideable
a 4D
VR
ride.
machines.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, a 4D
Yeah.
mount that you.
Yeah. We
There's
should
some great
do it, but
footage
not
of,
before eating.
I'm being
or after
told
eating.
IGN made a whole package
Yeah.
about this 4D
Yeah.
ride
Jane Douglas wrote
that
it for
viewers
us.
and listeners can go watch on youtube.com/IGN.
So I mean, we'll see. We're busy here at the show, so I'd love to get a chance to walk around. But there's like a retro game hall that I
Yeah.
haven't even been to yet.
We went
There's
to
an
it. Imagine what types of retro games there are. They're all PCs.
Is this gonna make me sad?
No, they're amazing.
Okay,
They're
okay,
like
okay.
all crazy PCs
They're all
with
speckies.
CRT monitors. Look at all
Good.
speckies.
No.
A lot of Atari S somethings.
But I think Gamescom does a good job of like gaming's for everyone,
Yeah.
whether you're into old games or indie games, big AAA games. Like that's the vibe that I get, and that's a big thing that I've enjoyed. Having only admired Gamescom from afar, being in here and in it it feels good. Very positive.
And there's a machine for coffee and a machine for cigarettes.
Yeah,
There is,
great.
which I haven't
the big
seen.
two.
Germany.
One of those in a long time.
The
And-
big two.
You can get a beer pretty much anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
Can we get?
Yep, right. Actually, let's work on that. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention at the top of the show. This is a play in 3 acts game scoop this week. We've got our A block here, which we're going to be talking about highlights from the show. Then we'll take a quick break, come back and do a catch in with Game of the Year watch, and then our final segment will be looking ahead. Now that this is sort of like the final big event of the year, we pretty much know what all the big games are coming out for the rest of the year now. So we're going to sort of make our list. What we want, play or nay? I think that's what we'll call it. Play or
Oh,
nay.
That's terrible.
Beautiful.
It's
No, that's
terribly
perfect.
good, I think is what, to finish your sentence for you.
Well, maybe for Germany it'd be Plein or 9.
9 or 9. Sam, you mentioned Indiana Jones. I think that counts as a highlight. As we predicted on Next Gen Console Watch, we did finally get a release date for that one. Oh, I'm sorry. We got released dates.
Ooh,
We did.
For Indiana
We got a
Jones.
What does that
surprise
mean,
release.
Damon?
Well,
there.
Justin, it's coming to Xbox Series X and S and PC on December 9th this year. Then are you sitting down, Justin?
I don't know.
It's coming to PlayStation 5 in spring 2025.
What PlayStation 5? But it's an Xbox game.
I, for one, am shocked.
Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
No.
I was shocked. I was shocked they said it right after announcing a bunch of Indiana Jones news, and I was shocked that it was not announced after maybe it came out on Xbox. Like normally when things get ported. I was pretty surprised.
This is, there have been rumors about this coming, but I agree with Sam. I thought maybe,
Well, I guess I missed those rumors then, so maybe I'm a little out of it.
I thought let it come to
Rachel's
Xbox.
a
Let it
human.
have its moment on Xbox.
Exactly,
Right?
yeah,
and
yeah.
then somewhere down the line announce it's coming to PS5. But
But no, just wait a little
it's
bit.
money. It's money.
well, yes, of course. I don't know.
No,
Is it-
there's good reasoning behind it, that's for sure. But usually there's not good reasoning behind things, so, But yeah, I got to see it.
You saw the game.
On
So
a
you
big-
got to see the
on a big
stage,
screen.
the sort of like theater
Oh, you went
presentation.
through the-
I did. I got a fedora at the end of it.
Ooh.
How am I going to get that home? I don't know.
Where?
But,
Wear it.
Wear it home.
Can you imagine?
Yes, I can.
You'd be the
I love
coolest
it.
man on
But
the
where
boat.
where would I
it
get
here?
a matching bomber jacket?
Is it here right now? Can you get it in during our break? Can you get it and put it on?
Yeah, Corrado can go grab my hat.
Your assistant.
Right now.
Corrado is Sam's personal assistant.
His
Corrado,
hat
can you
butler.
get my Indiana
Follows
Jones hat from
him
the
everywhere.
table?
No.
And I will not be wearing it.
Tell us your impressions of gameplay of Indiana Jones.
Yeah, so, well, I mean, that's the problem is that they keep on showing these, like, short segments of Indiana Jones, like, all chopped up. And then, you're like, whoa, you can do this. You can do this, too. You can do this. So it's really hard for me to tell what do you do when you sit down and you're playing, for your 2 hours in the evening. Because they were showing, like temple solving, we know that's in there, right? They were showing like kind of a big panorama of Egypt which looked amazing. And then they would show like, and here's Indiana Jones going shopping. He's like, so what do you have for sale? Which is the weirdest thing to see, the impression of Harrison Ford doing that.
Oh yes.
I mean, if ever a man was made to wear a fedora.
No.
Iconic.
Do-do.
It works really good.
Do-do.
Good dice, huh? Yeah, they gave out these paper fedoras to everybody that watched Indiana Jones. But I got another thing here. I didn't just see Indiana Jones, because they got me in that theater, and they tricked me by showing me Starfield.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
that happened.
God damn it. They've got
Yeah.
to show
The
it to
Shattered
people
Space?
somehow.
It didn't look
DLC?
bad. Yeah, I thought it looked pretty good, actually. It was
Yeah.
actually like a different faction and a different faction compared to all the samey stuff that we've seen already. So be it.
I mean, I think like Starfield wasn't my favorite game, but I think the premise of the Shattered Space DLC and answering some of the open questions from the base game with now I'm forgetting the name of the faction, but the serpent people that are in Starfield,
Yeah.
It's like Way of the Serpent or
yeah,
something
the
like
DLC
that.
supposedly really focuses on that
Oh, I
storyline.
love
And to
that
me,
bit.
that was like the most
Yeah.
interesting part of the game. So maybe it'll be enough to pull me back in. I thought like what they showed here at Gamescom looked cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of serpents, Indiana Jones does not like snakes.
No, he doesn't.
I've never heard
Oh
that.
my gosh, that was another thing. So they were doing like a lot of the scenes they were showing were reflecting movie scenes, like a little, like they got to do that a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But there's like a whole taking the
Yeah.
the
Oh,
idol
man.
off a
This
thing,
Indiana
but it's
Jones
not a
footage looks
monkey.
crazy.
Yeah, and you take the idol off the monkey, and then he puts it on the ground, and the thing goes down, and this room starts shaking. Like that all happened. there was more than that. There was also a scene that was just the exact snakes scene
Yeah.
with scorpions.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Why did it have to be scorpions?
Yeah, why?
I don't like them either.
Who
I
does?
also hate scorpions.
Yeah, it's like his dad didn't like rats, right?
Yeah.
And so his best friend that's with him in this, I hate scorpions. You're like, really? You hate scorpions? Come here, little guys.
My biggest worry for it is that Uncharted has already won the being an
Yeah.
adventurer and a Tomb Raider.
And Tomb Raider
Yeah.
has too.
But
Yeah,
if they're
so-
not making them, then
I mean, that's true.
There's a gap year,
It's true.
right?
gap
But what
decade.
you hit on something really important is that those games are really fun, and I understand what to do in them and what's happening. And there's these kind of open area arenas in Tomb Raider, and I know Uncharted was getting towards that. I just can't tell what this is. I don't know if you just play through movies and then you go shopping and you come back to playing through movies again. Like I just don't know what's happening in it at all. And also, honestly, the fist combat.
Yeah.
No? First
I
person
don't know.
fist combat?
Pistol seems funny and cool, but like, yeah.
Did you see that the game acknowledges the Disneyland ride?
I did, and in the demo I saw, or whatever, the video I saw, it extended that. So, I actually have the original, I believe it's Pepsi translator card from when the ride opened. We
wow.
at Disneyland have taken it with us before to
yeah,
do that.
I did that too.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Yeah, still have that, but I'm sure it's just something about beware the eye. There's another thing that happens when you get knocked out in the game. You get a chance to have I think they called it like a hero moment or something like that. So what happens is, you get knocked out, and what it shows is your hat hit the ground, and then you have to crawl towards your hat, and then you pick up that you're dead, but you're crawling towards your hat, and then you pick it up and you put it on, and then it does this little cutscene. It's like dun 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 dun, and then you're back to the
He's
fist
back.
fight.
Yeah, I'll never
That's going to
get
be
tired
fun.
of hearing
Yeah,
that.
the first 3 times.
It's I know. Can you imagine? It's just so. I think this studio makes amazing
Yeah.
games, and I'm
Machine games,
so
yeah.
excited to play this game. But it just seems really hard to make an Indiana Jones game.
I hope we see, because they're showing off a lot of stuff at shows, but I hope when I get the final game, it has some of that machine games mischief
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
darker humor in it as
It's gonna have a
well.
lot of Nazi killing, so
Who doesn't like that?
that's a machine game's standard.
Brian McCaffrey has a hands-off preview that was very positive, but he said it's so Riddick, and I don't. Is that like it's so Wizard?
That's Wizard Annie.
Is he trying to make Riddick happen? Stop trying to make
that's
Riddick
so
happen.
Raven. Yeah, I've never played that Riddick game. Anybody?
I hear good things, though.
Yeah,
so-
me too. For 20 years, you should play that Riddick game. Sorry.
Okay, another highlight I think from this week: Secret Levels.
It looks amazing.
This new show, Amazon Prime Video, from the creators of Death, Love, and Robots on Netflix. It's going to be an animated anthology series about a bunch of different video games. And there's a lot here, and some of them are cool and exciting. Some of them are like, that's an interesting choice.
Product placement.
I mean, maybe. Well, let me run through the list real
Okay.
fast here. So we've got, in alphabetical order, Armored Core, which seems to star Keanu Reeves. Concord, which Justin didn't even remember what it was, even though it's coming out in 3 days. Crossfire, I don't really even know what that is. Dungeons and
Is that
Dragons.
the game where you hit the Hungry Hungry Hippos thing? And there's all those little balls that go around. It goes
Crossfire.
crossfire.
Dungeons and Dragons, not exactly a video game, although there have been video games. Exodus is that game that was announced at the Game Awards last December. We haven't heard anything about it since then.
Is that the Matthew McConaughey one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honor of Kings, which I think is a free-to-play MMO. So as you see, nothing that I've said so far is that makes sense. But then we start to get into better stuff. Mega Man.
That's weird though too. I mean, what they showed already.
What about Pac-Man?
gritty, realistic Pac? How
No, but
did
look,
you even
I wanna-
identify Pac-Man? What is it? Wasn't it just
it's like a mechanical,
Yeah.
a round yellow mechanical
I couldn't
thing with
even
teeth.
read that.
But
from
it's
what
not
they
like you got to
showed.
think the IP. It's like Love, Death, and Robots. None of that was IP based at all, and it's these short stories that are really interesting, and
Sure.
some are action oriented, and some
But
are
wasn't the
heartfelt.
graphical style different throughout that?
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
it was different animation studios doing them. It was an anthology, and so I don't care. The IP list looks random and weird, but to me it has nothing
doesn't
to do with
matter, yeah.
can a 12-minute short film be interesting or intriguing or
But
not?
aren't you worried if the IP can ruin it? You're like, this would be really cool if it wasn't a little robot
And then
boy
it's
named Mega Man.
raka. Yeah, sure. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, we have much more to discuss on this Secret Levels show, but we do have to take a quick break. When we return, we'll continue our discussion of Secret Levels and then check in with Game of the Year Watch. Catch you in 2 minutes. What was 2 and 2, the old Love Connection guy? We'll see you in 2 and 2. And we're back. It's GameScoop at Gamescom in Germany. We're here on the show floor. If anybody is walking by, I think our audio is being pumped out there. If you'd like to watch the backs of our heads while we talk about video games, feel free to pull up a chair. And then after the show, Justin, what do you think about my shirt that I'm wearing right now?
Well, Damon, I'm glad you asked. I love the shirt you're wearing right now.
Thank you.
We're
Where
selling
can I
them.
get one?
Well, Rachel, you can get one around the corner here. We're selling IGN merch at the IGN merch booth behind the Gamescom studio.
Yeah.
Now, Justin, I have lots of shirts, but I need pants.
I can't help you there.
Well,
That's a personal issue.
an underserved market for IGN pants.
Yeah. What do you
Anyway,
think?
we were just discussing this Secret Levels animated anthology show that's coming. Let me continue running on the list of games that are included. We left off, there's Pac-Man. There's Outer Worlds 2, which is interesting because that game's not even out yet.
Yeah.
Then there's just PlayStation Studios, which we know that God of War and Ghost of Tsushima will be represented, maybe more, we're not sure. Sifu is in there. Again, cool game, but a little bit niche. Spelunky, thank you. That one was for me, thank you. Unreal Tournament, Warhammer 40K. Yeah, those are the ones that are confirmed.
I'm so excited about Warhammer.
So, what I want to say is, this sounds cool. I'm glad this is happening. I like Love, Death, and Robots, but some of these are just strange choices. So,
Yeah.
I wonder. I don't know. This is just speculation on my part. Maybe they had the idea for the show, and then they sort of like put feelers out, like to Sony, like, hey, we're making this anthology show. Would you like to be involved? And maybe there's a
Right.
bit of a pay to play with, let's get Concord in
I mean,
there.
that makes
don't know.
sense for Sneak King, right? I just thought that was
Yeah,
a weird
I
choice.
thought it
The
was-
Burger
yeah.
King game.
Yeah.
Maybe there's an element of like, we'll give you God of War, but only if can you also do
I
one
mean,
on
sure,
Concord?
yeah, it could be something like that. Yeah.
I think there could be something with, and this will be a test bed. If this tests really well, maybe we can talk about a bigger series.
It is like putting on my business hat for a minute. Like the fact that games like Sifu are in there and Honor of Kings, for that game to be in there, they must have done outreach to hundreds of studios, right?
Yeah.
It is an eclectic mix. Like some big AAA,
Yeah.
some indie, everything in between.
Some very new properties, some very old properties.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
So
also a
like,
big list for just like,
Yeah.
well, are these 2 minutes long? Are they 10 minutes long?
Yeah.
Are they half an hour? Like, it just seems like a lot.
yeah. But Love, Death, and Robots, I love both seasons of that show. They're incredible, highly recommended. I'm very excited for this. It's what, December,
December,
right?
yeah. I'm not sure if there's a date, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
supposed to be out in December. I'm excited. I'm glad it's happening. Okay, let's move right along. It's about time to check in with Game of the Year Watch. I was gonna added in post, as always. What has changed? There's been two. So now we have awarded 2 games a 10 out of 10. But they're not typical full releases. There's Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, which is an expansion. And then there's Hades 2, which is still in early access. Only 2 games to get a 10. Other than that, there haven't been any really new additions. I think the last time we talked about this, we kind of felt like Helldivers 2 and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth were the front runners. Several other 9s like Unicorn Overlord and Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and Tekken 8, games like that. But I don't know, do we feel like things have shifted? Rachel, what do you think? Has the front runners shifted? And what do we do with Erdtree? What do we do?
Not for me. I think Hades is a good shout, even
Yeah.
if it's in early access. But for me, I'm biased because I'm all about Dragon Age. Pinning my
you're
hopes
waiting,
on that to
yeah,
be
you're
Game
Putting
of the
all
Year
your
level.
eggs
Yeah.
in the dragon basket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, just I need it. I need it to be.
Yeah.
We had Baldur's Gate last year.
And everything you've seen looks like it's going to be good so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. That's a good sign. What about Thank Goodness You're Here?
Amazing. If you haven't played it, it's like a little indie.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay.
With very
She
strange
recommended it to
humor.
me.
Yeah, about the British North. Some of the jokes I had to explain to Sam, but it's definitely worth checking out.
Game of the Year?
No. But nearly.
Unreviewed.
Unreviewed.
Unloved and unreviewed. No, we love it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
You could-
Loved, but unreviewed.
Loved but unreviewed. They're clapping for it right now out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they're clapping for. I don't know, what do we think? Is it still Final Fantasy VII and Helldivers 2?
I mean, both those games have not necessarily had the sticking power. Like, look, they deserve their good review scores. Like, they're both
Yeah.
amazing games, but sometimes you get the benefit of time as, the months go by, that Game of the Year kind of starts to crystallize of like, something seems like it's going to be amazing and it pops, but then 3, 4, 5 months later, people are like, maybe it was a little bit overhyped, but then sometimes the opposite happens, like appreciation for a game grows and there's a groundswell of support over the course of the year. And my read is that Rebirth and Helldivers 2, again, They deserve their good review scores, but I don't really feel like that they've really risen in esteem as 2024 has gone on, is the vibe that I get.
Well, do you have a vibe that there is sort of a favorite right now?
Ooh, good question. I mean, I don't
like
know.
at this time last year, we were thinking Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
It
That's
was
what.
Tears of the Kingdom and Baldur's Gate
Yeah.
emerged
Yeah.
as like
Yeah.
the consensus picks.
That's why I feel like this year yet we haven't had that. Everyone agrees this is an amazing game. This is, high
I
up
think
there.
if I had to think about like what our staff thinks, I think Helldivers is the choice. Just because they all had fun in groups and with friends and stuff like that. I think that's like might be people will get around. But there's also the Elden Ring contingent, right? So that makes it tough.
I mean, even Erdtree, like, again, got a 10 out of 10. Fantastic expansion. Like, let's just pretend it's eligible for the sake of this discussion. We don't want to send it up to the Supreme Court to decide, you know. But, like, even that, like, kind of came and went, had its moment in the sun, right?
Yeah.
I think, there are still many games to come, but if we were picking right now, voting right now, I would probably argue for an exception for Erdtree, because it's an expansion, but
You're not allowed to until you beat it, though.
it's as bigger or bigger. I'm right at the end, Sam.
Yes,
I
I've been hearing that
guarantee you,
for weeks.
I guarantee I'm farther than most people.
You're farther than me.
You're at the final boss, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one beats games, right, Justin?
Well, I mean, I don't.
Just the stats. The stats say that.
Yeah, no, my Game of the Year pick personally, probably Balatro still. Balatro and Unicorn Overlord too, which, you know, Deeper Cuts, I don't expect them to win a lot of Game of the Year awards, but
Those are my three: Balatro, Unicorn Overlord, and Erdtree. Those are my games.
yeah, they're fantastic.
But Sam, what of Prince of Persia and the Lost Crown?
Yeah, I mean, you've heard me say this before. That's still the best game I've played. It's been a while now, so I need to play some good games. But I have really a lot of interest in Outlaws and Assassin's Creed. So we got two
That's it.
big,
We've got big
games.
stuff coming the end of the year. So
And I'm into Dragon Age. Like, I want it to be good. They just keep on showing that same purple level.
look, I know, but I need it just spiritually, emotionally. I have to believe that it's going to be.
I can't even tell what
big
type
RPG
of game
for
it
me.
is still. Like, I want to see more.
It's
I'm
a
glad
role-playing
up
game.
here. Well, maybe. You know, I mean, it was obvious from the previous games that they're role-playing games, but
Going to be able to romance a bunch of cool, good-looking people.
3.
Only 3? Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you can romance more people in Cool Spot.
I don't think that's true. I don't think there are any people in
No
Cool
way to
Spot.
know.
Are we looking ahead? So it's like you name dropped Assassin's Creed. Like, it's hard to say, like, go ahead.
Well, first I wanted to hear from Rachel. You're a big Dragon Age fan.
Yeah,
So what's been your favorite Dragon Age game so far?
it was the last one. It was
Inquisition.
Yeah,
They're getting better.
It was just, you know, the characters were so well rounded. There was that real feeling of, you know, the whole team's come together and now we're going in for like one final battle and it's all very emotional and some will live, some will die. So yeah.
That was very similar to Mass Effect. Like, they
Yeah.
both had that same trajectory, and I thought that worked really well for BioWare. Then
And I want
see if
BioWare to come back punching, you know?
me too. I'm rooting for them.
I would love to see the return of Bioware. But so
Like
up-
this, they pick up the hat. It goes dun 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 dun.
That's Bioware.
Punch, 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 punch.
But Rachel, up to this point, what's been the best game you played this year?
I think it has to be Helldivers, as much because the community around it was crazy, and it was just a really fun time to be into that game, and it brought back Starship Troopers love.
Yeah, and it felt next gen in
Yeah.
the ability for it to morph and change each week and like have the orders and
Constantly
stuff
adding
like that.
stuff
It was
to it, yeah.
really cool.
Okay, Justin, now we may look ahead.
Got it. Thank you. No, I mean, you know, Rachel name dropped Assassin's Creed earlier. It's hard. Like, sometimes look, you never know for sure if a game's going to be good or not. It comes out and it gets reviewed and put through its paces. But sometimes we have a very good idea, like, this is looking great, this is looking shaky. But I feel like a lot of the 2024 games still coming out are kind of like, it's hard. Like, maybe Indiana Jones is amazing. Maybe it's not a Game of the Year candidate. I feel that about Outlaws. I feel it about Assassin's Creed. Like, it's not as sort of obvious and apparent going into the back half of the year which ones are going to be the Game of the Year front runners and breakthroughs. So,
You know, a behind-the-scenes take on Indiana Jones is interesting in two ways. In one way, it won't make cutoffs for some people's Game of the Year awards, right?
Yeah.
But in another way, it'll have that late release bias, you know, where people will just be playing it
bias.
and it'd just be like,
Still got
well,
that
I'll
warm
vote for
glow.
the game I'm playing right now because it's so fun. Maybe it'll win in both ways.
yeah.
It's probably going to be too late for our own awards.
Well, I don't know.
Unless we plan for that and make exceptions.
Yeah, it's tough. We've done that before. I mean, Cyberpunk, I believe, came out like basically the same date, and we just had to get everybody playing it as soon as possible, and it was a really fun effort to get everybody on PCs that can play that game.
Yeah.
It is that's a little bit of inside baseball, is that, Game of the Year awards are voted on by a large swath of the content team, and they have to get access to the game, which sometimes is very easy and sometimes isn't. So, that can play a part.
But you can vote in a face-off about Game of the Year right now that we add to every single month, which now that I think about it, the cumulative votes are going to be a little bit confusing for late arrivals, but we'll math it out.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Maths.
I do want to shout out, there is a big World of Warcraft expansion.
That's another one. That's coming out very soon, right?
Yeah, I think early access starts kind of right now in the next week or two.
You have to have that 4D harness to play it, right?
Yeah, you got to strap you in. Look, sorry, guys. No, I mean, WoW's had some down years. I've been a World of Warcraft player off and on for almost my entire life, which is weird to think about. And it seems to be coming back. New expansion seems to have great buzz behind it. Again, depending on how awards work, maybe it is or isn't eligible for Game of the Year. But, I hope that the expansion is well-liked and, will earn a spot in some end-of-year lists.
How is it for you going back in were you an addict and now you have to kind of...
No, I mean, I'm pretty good about, modulating. It's not okay, time to ruin my life for another 3 months and resubscribe to WoW.
Goodbye, family.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty good about sometimes people I remember making fun of Destiny players of I've done everything there is to do in Destiny and I'm mad and there's no more to do, and it's put it down and go play something else. You don't need to play it for life, and that's how I am with MMOs. There's several of them that I bounce around between, but maybe I'll not be in it for a year and then come back and subscribe for another month or two. But
Do you have a cool mount?
Oh yeah, I got hella cool mounts. I got so many. I got
what?
I got a big cat.
Nice.
I got a skeleton horse.
A skeleton
I got a bunch of birds.
I have one of those in Zelda.
Yeah.
Birds?
Yeah.
You're allowed to fly?
There's flying
Oh,
mounts.
yeah. Flying mounts was a big deal.
Dragons, flying. You can ride a dragon.
That's what those people are doing.
Yeah.
Getting sick doing it.
Well, now I'm starting to see what the category for best expansion will be. It'll be Erdtree, World of Warcraft, Starfield,
The Final
Shattered
Shape.
Space,
Vessel of Hatred.
Final Shape, and which was that?
Vessel of Hatred, Diablo.
Yes, I was just going to say that one too.
Yeah,
So
crazy. It's
Yeah.
an expansion year.
always, just like the universe, always expanding.
Always expanding. Just like
Wow.
Nintendo 64's
Can you
controller
explain that to me?
port.
Yeah.
I cannot explain that to you. Yeah, so that the World of Warcraft expansion is coming up next week, but before that is Concord. The PlayStation's next. So
I'm so confused about Concord.
it's not free to play, but it is a service shooter. It's a hero shooter. It's their answer to Overwatch. It's a colorful kind of sci-fi Guardians of the Galaxy-ish world, but I don't think there's a lot of hype or excitement about that one. I don't know. We're going to see. But that's coming out very soon. Just sort of running down the list of game releases that we have come up. Sam, tell everyone why they're so excited for August 29th.
I forgot what August 29th.
It's because when Shadow of the Ninja Reborn comes out.
I don't know
That will
what
put
that is.
that will put to rest all discussion of Game of the Year.
What's Shadow of the Ninja?
You-
I remember that game from 2010 or something like that.
That was
No,
Mark
from
of the
like
Ninja.
1991.
Oh, that Shadow of the Ninja.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not a good game.
It's a very good game.
No, it's not.
It's a very good game
1991?
with very good. It's a late NES action game with great music, and they're making like a 16-bit style sequel to it with some of the original team. And
Maybe
I'm
in
excited.
another 20 years they'll make a 32-bit, like a PS1
Why
version
not?
of it. Yeah, why not?
Why not? Anyway, that one's coming out for me. But then on August 30th is Star Wars Outlaws,
Yeah.
which a lot of us are playing, Sam.
Yeah.
We can't play it because we're here right now, but I'm totally excited to get home and jump into Star Wars Outlaws.
I know. I can't wait. You can play it here.
Well, yeah, I can't, but some people can.
He's chained to the stage.
Guys, you got to let Daemon out once in a while. Let him roam.
That is not the contract.
Got it. He's
Star Wars Outlaws, it's a play for me, play for Sam, play for Rachel,
Yeah.
play for Jess.
100%.
Yeah, we're going to
It'll just be, I'm not a huge, I love Star Wars, but I'm not a super nerd, but it's
That's
just
okay.
a big adventure that I want
It's
to
okay
play.
to just love
Yeah.
Star Wars and not obsess over
And not
it
be angry.
This
and
probably
argue over it.
explains a lot of what you need to know, I'm sure. There's not even lightsabers in this game as
Wait a
far as
second.
we know.
As far as we know.
What was that you just said about Star Wars, Damon? Can you?
No, it's already gone.
You're allowed to just like it.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
don't-
have to be.
Yeah, that's true though. You can just like Star Wars. You don't have to obsess over it.
I don't think that's right. I
Okay,
don't think.
let's
that
just
doesn't-
move on. Well, before I get into any more hot water, it's time for one more break. And we'll take a look at the rest of the games that we're excited to play that are coming out in the rest of 2024. We will be right back. After these messages, we'll be right back.
And then the dog does something.
Yeah. Welcome back to a very special Gamescom edition of GameScoop. We talk about some highlights of the show. We've talked about Game of the Year Watch. And now we're taking a look at all the games that we know are coming the rest of this year and getting excited to play that we were just talking about. World of Warcraft, War Within, Star Wars Outlaws. And then right after Star Wars Outlaws, just a week later, is Astrobot. The next big PlayStation.
Oh man, I kind of forgot about Astrobot.
I know, don't forget. You never forget about Astrobot.
But I did.
But don't.
Okay, got it. I won't.
September 6th is Astrobot. That's a big play for me, Sam.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it's more Mario 64 than Star Fox, I'll be happy. But it looks like it has a good balance of both.
I don't think it's very Star Fox.
I don't know. They show that ship a lot.
Yeah, I think there's some flying sections, but I think that's where it ends.
That's what people told me about Star Fox.
No one told you about. No one said that about Star Fox. Rachel, is that a play for you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it'll be great just to dust off the old PS5.
Oh my gosh, you haven't been using your PS5. Well, I mean, I understand there hasn't been a big exclusive, but
Yeah.
sure, got it.
This is just Star Fox. I don't know why I'm
This
being
is not Star
trolled
Fox.
by Daemon.
Look, this is Star Fox.
no,
Adventures.
no, he just on the dinosaur planet.
Look at how cute and charming it is.
It's so
like,
good.
Everyone think like if it's like, oh, 3D platformers, there's a million of them.
Oh,
but
look
like
at
there really aren't.
kind of, there aren't really that
No.
many, right?
No,
So-
there's not. That's really true. And also, this is just I like it when there's kind of a theme.
Yeah.
Like Smash Brothers has, which is like just Nintendo. This one's just Sony. I just think it'll be cool to find all the Sony.
I'm so
Easter
glad
eggs.
to see Astrobot not stuck in VR.
Yes.
Heck, like
Yeah.
the pack-in game with the PS5 was so delightful and charming, but it was a little pack-in thing. Like it was
Yeah.
over in an hour or two. So to see Astrobot get a second chance at life and sort of like reach a more mass market audience, mainstream audience, pumped. It's gonna be great.
Yep.
Super excited for
Honestly,
that one.
like really, the game of the
the-
year dark horse. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
He's the new Sackboy for PlayStation.
I hear it's 80 hours.
80 hours long. On September 17th is The Plucky Squire. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that one.
yeah.
And that one's going right into PS Plus.
That one has a good look to it.
Yeah.
They've got a cute booth as well. You can go and be
Here?
in the you can go
Oh, I
and be in the Plucky Squire.
Oh,
Do you remember
wow.
which hall? 1, 2,
No.
3, 4,
One of
5,
the big
6,
ones.
7, 8, or 9.
or 10.
Yeah, I got to check that out.
Yeah, this is one where you jump from the pages of a storybook and come out into the 3D world. You're 2D in the storybook, 3D in the real world.
Great
quote-unquote
design.
real world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like obviously the art, the whole premise of the game. It's like we've talked before on the show. Like some games, like Civilization 7, we know are going to be amazing, but they're hard to make a trailer for. They're hard to kind of show off. This game's the exact opposite, right? Like you see that moment of jumping from 2D to 3D, and you're like, oh man, like it's so cool.
I get it. I want to do that.
Yeah, but I do wonder about the gameplay. It's like, is it going to be interesting to play? Like it's interesting art.
Yeah.
God, you just want everything.
Yeah. Well, look, I want it to look good and play good.
What a diva. Okay, September 19th is Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, or Dirger, as the kids like to say. And then September 24th is Epic Mickey Rebrush, which is happening over there. I would have said this, no one was asking for this, but there's a pretty big line of people waiting to check out that game. So
Well, Disney fans be Disney fans.
I guess you're right about that.
I never played it on the Wii, so
It was a Wii exclusive originally.
Yeah.
Isn't that strange? September 26th is The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I assume we're all going to play that one.
I think
so
we have to.
Hyped.
We
for
are
that
required
game.
to play that
Yeah.
one. It's true. But also excited.
Yeah, I hope it's good enough to be a Game of the Year contender as well.
I just hope it's not watered down Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's going to be simplified because it's lacking a camera angle that you can turn and stuff like that, right?
But it could still be,
I think Nintendo has just not let us down in a Zelda in a really long time.
Yeah.
It would just be so unusual.
In 15
even
years.
the 15 years. I
Or
don't know.
Skyward Sword.
Okay, I was like,
Wow.
I'm trying to do the math on like
You
what.
can't
what
say
would've
that. You can't say that on a thing that
I
people
said
can
it.
get
I
mad
said it. What are you going to do, Sam?
We're going to have to
Skyward
shut
Sea-
down the internet for a week now.
It's me.
So, I mean, a lot of the focus on that game has been on the art style and on how, it's different after Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom did their thing with Zelda. But, like, sort of an underrated discussion point is that you play as Zelda, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's a big
People have
deal.
been-
Like,
People have been asking for that for a long time.
30 years
Yeah.
people have wanted that. Like, I have two girls that are very excited to be playing as Zelda when they see this game coming out. And, it looks really cool. I share the same, not like Sam, I wouldn't characterize what you shared as concerns, but just like, it's more of an unknown, right? Like, well, let's just see what we get when it comes out.
I think Nintendo is so good now at giving us open-ended puzzle solving. They're the
Right?
only company that's doing that.
The bravery to like
Exactly.
just let them put chairs and tables wherever they want.
I think I can see that in this, and if it's
I hope
just
that's what I'm hoping.
yeah, and maybe it'll be simplistic, but like we haven't even seen what dungeons look like really. You know, we haven't really even seen what the open world's like. Now, it is strange that it's just actually set in Hyrule. Like the one from Link to the Past, basically, that was also used in the sticker wall game one. But maybe there'll be a variation on the world or something like that too. You know, we got the depths, we got the dark worlds, we got Majora's Mask type stuff. We'll see.
September 30th is the Starfield Shattered Space expansion. Then getting into October, the 4th is the Until Dawn remake, which is cool that that's happening. But then the 8th is Silent Hill 2. And I feel like there hasn't been a lot of buzz about that one. I mean, I hope it's good.
I'll go back in.
Yeah.
Like Silent Hill 2 is a major game for me.
Yeah.
As a huge horror fan, so. But the stuff I've seen feels like it's missing the gut punch of the original Silent Hill 2. Like they've just sanded the sort of sharper edges off. So.
Really?
We'll see. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know the series at all. You can tell that already, that it just looks like kind of dulled.
Yeah, I mean for me, but maybe that's I'm being nostalgic.
Yeah, I mean I was hoping that would be like a leader in survival horror games usually are a leader in graphics, and they just are the best looking games around. And this does not look like the best looking game around. That's okay. It can be a really fun game, but that's one thing about I think the horror genre is good at, is pushing the limits of this looks next gen and it looks amazing, especially if it's a remake. So Resident Evil 4, I mean, oh my god.
And Dead Space remake.
Yeah, and they just push the limits. I love those games.
Yeah. So we'll see how that one turns out. Sam, on October 17th, you're going to play Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Yeah, that's my spooky season game.
Cool. It is pretty spooky.
Really spooky, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I usually review the Mario Party, so we'll see if that happens this year. This one, it looks better. It looks like the whole idea is that they're trying to address that there's not enough content in those games, that it's not enough just to have 5 game boards and move on. So,
the day after is the game that we were talking about last week, the Retro Realms, the new Halloween and Evil Dead games. Did you catch these, Justin?
No. What?
I know. They're making 2 different 16-bit platformers.
What?
One of them is based on Halloween.
Cool.
I mean, maybe.
What?
I hope so.
What do you mean?
well, he's concerned that like in Halloween, you don't really go on a stabbing spree. It's more about
Halloween is a very slow-paced, methodical.
predatory.
But you're playing as Mike Myers, just slashing through dozens and dozens of people. So it's a little bit like,
All right.
okay, it's a little bit more Texas Chainsaw
you got to
Massacre.
break out of the mental institution somehow.
Yeah, that's true.
You can either do stealth
I mean, it makes sense for
or stabbing.
Evil Dead.
Remember that scene in Halloween where he's just driving the car?
Yeah, that's what the movie is. It's not just.
Yeah, but in this, there's a
Let
bunch
him
of
have
people
some
in front of the car.
fun. Yeah.
I mean, sure. Have some fun. October 26th is Black Ops 6. No, big game.
Yeah.
Launching into Game Pass, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And then, Rachel, on Halloween night, you're just going to be home playing Dragon Age the Veilguard. That's a good Halloween.
Pretending I'm not in for the trick-or-treaters. And
Okay. Yeah, no, it's just lights off outside.
Yeah.
All the lights off, just playing. Do not disturb. I'm playing Dragon Age the Veilguard.
It would
Man,
be really
we can
cool
see you
if it
through
was
the window. We know you're in there.
it would be cool if it was like a Halloween-y game. You know, we didn't know that. That'd be cool. But I don't think so.
That's probably there'll be some scary parts in it.
Maybe.
If there's a skeleton in it, then it
Yep.
works.
Yeah, I mean, it's very purple.
November 7th is Mario and Luigi Brothership. I'd almost forgotten about that one.
Yeah, that one looks good.
Yeah, that game
Right.
came out of nowhere at either the last Nintendo Direct or one of the recent ones, and like instantly won everybody over. They're like, okay, I'm in for some more Mario and Luigi.
Yep.
I mean, it's a great franchise. I mean, I like out of all the Mario RPG franchises, it's my favorite. I like it more than
Paper
Mario. Yeah, I always have. I think they're sort of silly and goofy and a little bit more lighthearted. Well, so is Paper Mario. I don't know. I like them. I like them all.
And then November 14th is Dragon Quest III, the HD 2D remake.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those
I've never played 3. I know, like Jared Petty, friend of the show, and many other people that have played all the Dragon Quest.
Drockway.
Drockway. Is that 3 and 5 are sort of like generally considered some of the very best ones, and 3 I've never played, so good candidate for a remake, I think.
And it just looks so good.
I just
looks
can't wait to have
amazing.
these as an anthology. Just like, this is the way you can play Dragon Quest for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
The day after that is Assassin's Creed Shadows, which I believe we're all excited for.
Oh, yeah.
Then the 20th, this is an interesting one, Stalker 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's a wait and see for me. I've never played Stalker 1, so.
Well,
I'll wait and see how
that is kind of doing what I'm talking about, which is like kind of pushing the limits of like graphical intensity with horror. I mean, it could be a game that's like a real looker.
could be.
I just want to point out Darth Vader's walking by.
Oh my gosh. Everybody be cool.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
And then, of course, December 9th is Indiana Jones, and then sometime in December is Lego Horizon Adventures, which is, again, a little bit of an
This
odd.
year on Switch too.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
PS5 and Switch.
That's what I mean about these games being like again, sometimes you just get a vibe from a game. Like, oh yeah, I can tell that's going to be great. But like Lego Horizon, maybe that game's amazing, right? Like maybe it's so fun and so cute, and then maybe it's just kind of meh. Like, yeah, just have to get our hands on it and see. Read the review.
I think all
on
these games sound
IGN.com.
so playable.
Yeah,
like it
playable.
just sounds like a fun fall.
I think so too.
It's not. It doesn't have an immediate AAA standout. Maybe Assassin's Creed or Call of Duty or something like that. But like I just am really excited to try everything. It's a good fall. Suddenly, suddenly like that.
I know Rachel's number one pick is Dragon Age. So if you're going to pick the one game you're most excited
It's
for, Sam,
Zelda.
Zelda. Echoes
Yeah,
of
yeah. I mean,
Wisdom.
but both Ubisoft games are just right there.
Yeah. I'm definitely into the Ubisoft games. What do you think, Justin? Number one.
I can't pick just one.
Yeah, you can.
I blacked out. I don't remember any of the games we just talked
I will
about.
assign you a game, and it will be Shadow of the Ninja Reborn.
Shadow
Great.
of the Ninja
I mean, that
Reborn.
sounded
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it does sound cool. I'll pick Astrobot. Very excited to play
Wow.
it.
No, I forgot about it.
Okay, you can have Astrobot.
You can have
I
Shadow
pick
of the Ninja.
Shadow of the Ninja
Great.
Reborn. A couple other odds and ends to pick up that have fallen out of Gamescom this week. Borderlands 4 was announced.
Yeah?
Well, after that movie, they left them wanting more, and here we are.
Which is it? Was that planned to sort of like be a victory lap after
Well,
the movie, or was it like in
jokes
the wake of the movie? We're like, let's get a little teaser
No,
trailer
I think
together.
it's planned. And jokes aside, like Nintendo should have announced a freaking giant Mario game after the Mario movie. Like,
Yeah.
it made so much sense. Now, even better than that would be when the things are out concurrently, like
That's the
the
way it
good
used to
old
be.
days where every movie had a
That's
stupid
it.
video game with it,
You know,
including Chronicles of Riddick.
I would like us to stop getting a graphic and us calling it
Oh.
like an announcement. Like I'm still sore about
What about a tattoo?
Elder Scrolls. Like where's that?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
stop showing us just a title card.
Yeah.
That's basically what this. I think it's like 90 seconds long, but all it is this.
Yeah, Randy
What-
Pitchford just said, "Oh, there's secrets in it," but
What about the Mass Effect legs?
Yeah. 10 years ago or
well,
whatever
also
it was.
it's always like, oh, that massively successful series. We'll probably make another one.
Should we make
You
another
know?
one? Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's for investors or what. It would be nice. I mean, I don't mind if they do that. If like the next day there's a trailer and then
Right.
like a few months later it's out. Like that's fine.
I mean,
give
they
me the
do-
title screen. But when it's the 10 years after
Yeah.
the title screen,
Like, I
Metroid
understand
Prime.
you have to announce your video game. Like, yeah, we're
Yeah.
working on this video game, but teaser trailers are hard to get excited about. But, they're mood pieces always, right? Like, I don't know if you're going to bring it up. Like, Mafia announces a teaser trailer. Like, okay, I'll play that
Best
game.
one ever, Fallout 3.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was the...
Because you got a full
yeah.
sense of what was going to happen just from the stupid teaser, and it was playing that song about setting the world
Yeah, I
on
think
fire. Whenever
Rockstar do it
changes.
best. They just go, here, look, bam. Like here's
Yeah,
the next GTA.
Smell a feature here. Best teaser trailers.
That's
yeah,
good.
I like it.
But no, the listeners don't. Just forget that. We'll let us handle that. I don't know about Borderlands. I liked Borderlands 1, loved Borderlands 2, got pretty bored with Borderlands 3. It just feels like peak Borderlands was like 2012, and here we are.
What if they made a Lego Borderlands?
I mean, sure, you can make a Lego out of everything.
And it was also like, everybody talks about Handsome Jack and the writing and the memorable characters, but like, it's also in 2012, like, RPG shooter hybrids and character powers was a lot more kind of innovative, fresh thing than it is now, where now that's just kind of every video game.
Yeah.
So,
It was the only one doing that kind of humor
Yeah,
as well,
yeah,
like kind of taking the mick out of itself, whereas like now it's
yeah,
that's
exactly.
pretty
So,
standard for a lot.
I think it's
gonna
gonna
have
be
to
tough
do
for
something to
find,
stand out.
Yeah, what is Borderlands' place in the shooter category today? That's Randy Pitchford's problem, not mine. And of course, the biggest news of the week is that Balatro is coming to Dave the Diver.
Yeah.
I am so fascinated to see.
It's
crossover of the
we don't know
century.
to what extent. There's announced a partnership trailer, and one of the partnerships is that Balatro is going to be playable inside Dave the Diver. Presumably not the entire game, but to some extent you can just play Balatro inside Dave the Diver. And I think they already put Godzilla in it, and now they're putting it's like Dave the Diver. How are they wooing me?
Are they here? Did we need to introduce you?
Yes.
Yeah.
There needs to be a meet cute between me and the Dave the Diver dev.
It's all been a
Between
secret
you
love
and
letter.
Godzilla.
What's that?
between you and Godzilla.
Also a meet cute between me and Godzilla.
Yeah,
Yes,
maybe
please.
they'll put some kind of murder in it too, and then it'll be the perfect game for you.
It's not murder, it's gore that I like.
Okay, well
No,
that's worse.
sometimes
I was
it
just
comes out
trying
of
to,
it.
I was
It's
trying to
hard to
soften
get-
it for the audience.
Trying to get.
Not murder, it's gore.
See that the number that's ticking down? 5 seconds. That's how much time we have left. 5 seconds.
Okay, Splatterhouse.
Splatterhouse. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining us for this very special Gamescom edition of GameScoop. I hope everybody had fun. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Justin. Thank you to everyone that's walking around the booth here and being part of the show. Everybody, please come to the front of the IGN booth. We have waivers for you all to sign. Please don't leave before you do that.
He's walking away. That guy's walking away.
Corrado, can you go get that guy? Thank you to everyone working behind the scenes to make this episode possible. We're going to call it a day here at our Gamescom studio, but be sure to join us tomorrow for the Gamescom Award Show, celebrating the best and most innovative games at Gamescom. It's going to be a big, crazy, exciting show. We can't wait to bring it to you. Until then, thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Nice.